Hello, learners. Welcome back. In this lecture, I'm going to talk about sexuality in the context of social stratification. Just like my other previous lectures, this one is also primarily prepared for the learners of ME in Sociology program and the Center for Open and Distance Learning, Teshpur University. However, anyone interested in learning the topic can join in. I'm keeping the content very simple so that it is easily comprehensible to anyone interested in learning the topic. Before taking up sexuality, let us first understand the two terms sex and gender. Now, these two terms are often used synonymously. For example, while filling out your personal details in an application form, you are asked to provide your sex or gender. That is, in some forms, you may find the term gender, while in others, you may find the term sex. And of course, you are never asked, to provide both sex and gender. Right. So it seems as if both the terms are same. However, there is a difference between the two. It is generally understood that sex is a biological category, whereas gender is social or culturally constructed. So generally, the term sex covers the biological or physiological traits that distinguish between male and female. These biological traits include differences in chromosomes, genital organs, and other biological traits like differences in hormones, etc. Now, going by this meaning of sex, it appears as if sex is a fixed binary. That is, an individual is either male or a female. However, along with male and female, there is another category that is intersex, which also has to do with the biological traits. Some people are born with ambiguous sex organs, or ambiguity is seen in terms of other sex characteristics like hormones or chromosomes, and therefore they do not fit into the binary notions of male or female bodies. Such people come under the category of intersex. So we can see that even sex is to some extent socially constructed, because when a baby is born, it is usually assigned a sex which is either male or female. Okay, so in that case, that intersex category is being sidelined. Okay, so when a baby is born, it is either identified as a male or a female. So going by this, we can see that to some extent sex is also socially constructed. Coming to gender, gender refers to the cultural meanings that are attached to sex categories. It covers the characteristics that a society considers appropriate for male and female. Men are expected to be masculine, while women are expected to be feminine. Now, expectations like men has to be strong, they have to be tough. This kind of expectations, this come under gender. Likewise, female women or female members, they are expected to be more caring and nurturing, right, soft spoken. So when those kind of expectations, these kind of expectations, they come under the category of gender, because these are socially constructed. Accordingly, men and women are assigned different roles. For instance, a woman is generally expected to take care of the household chores, and men is generally or conventionally expected to, earn a living, or he is conventionally expected to be the breadwinner. Of course, things have changed a lot now. Those are all conventional, belief system, and they have that has already undergone a lot of change. But then some basic things are still being prevalent, like a woman is expected to be more nurturing and caring. So this kind of expectations are still continuing, and all this comes under the category of gender. Now, we need to understand that one's sex need not necessarily align with one's gender. For instance, an individual may be born a male, but he may be feminine in nature. Okay, so we see that, right? There are some individuals who are male, but they prefer to, be more feminine in nature, or they prefer to exhibit the traits that are considered feminine, quote unquote feminine. right? So there are individuals like their sex may be male, but then their uh, traits may not be, reflecting what is expected from the sex that he has or she has. Okay, so both the sex and gender may not always align. So we'll get to know more about this in the latter part of the lecture. Let us understand what is meant by sexuality. Sexuality is a term that covers everything related to sexual behavior. It includes sexual attraction or desire, sexual identity, and sexual acts. Now, let us try to understand sexuality in terms of social stratification. In one of my previous lectures, which was on deviance, we have already learned about social norms. So we understood that social control is used to promote conformity to social norms among the members of a society. And we know that there are different ways through which social control is exercised, the prominent among which is a system of rewards and punishment. And then along with it, there is also, socialization through which social control is exercised. Now, talking in terms of sexuality or gender, if we look at socialization, we see that, a male child and a female child are some way or the other socialized differently in a society. If we take a very simple example, in our society, a girl child is usually given a doll to play with, right, or kitchen set to play with, but the same is not usually given to a male child to play with. So okay, of course there will be exceptions, but usually what we see that, more the dolls and the toys that are being considered as feminine, like a kitchen set or a Barbie doll, those are given to a girl child, while the toys that are considered masculine, okay, those are given to like a male child. Okay, like a car, example can be a car. Now, we need to keep in mind here that there are also social norms in a society regarding sexuality, and individuals who do not conform to those have to face certain social sanctions. In the process, what happens is the individuals in a society get categorized based on their sexuality. Now we know that social norms vary from society to society. However, in almost all societies, patriarchy seems to influence the codes of conduct relating to sexuality. In a patriarchal society, since men are given more privileges, control is exercised over female sexuality. Besides, when it comes to maintaining the purity of the blood, even for that matter, control is needed to be exercised on the female sexuality, because it is the female who can decide like the purity of the blood. So in that case also, what happens is that more control or more restrictions is imposed on female sexuality. Further, in such a society, in a patriarchal society, there is what we call heteronormativity. Now, what is heteronormativity? It is the belief that heterosexuality, or the sexual relationship between a male and a female, is considered as the only normal. As we know that when it comes to social orientation or social identity, which is an important aspect of sexuality, not every individual is heterosexual. Okay, there are individuals who get attracted sexually to someone from their own sex, or to both same sex as well as opposite sex individuals, while some individuals may not be sexually attracted to either of the sexes. Thus, there are four main categories of sexual orientation. You have firstly got heterosexuality, that is when an individual is sexually attracted to someone from the opposite sex, which many of us, or we can say majority of the individuals have. Then Secondly, we and that is the reason, like, it is being, considered like heterosexuality is a norm, or it is it is natural, and it is the only form of sexuality. However, in reality it is not so. So we have got the second category, which is homosexuality. That is when the individual is sexually attracted to someone belonging to same sex. Thirdly, we have bisexuality, when the individual is sexually attracted to people of either sex, that is both same sex and opposite sex. And lastly, we have asexuality, when the individual is not sexually attracted to individuals of either sex. Now, what heteronormativity does is that it makes all other types of sexual orientation other than heterosexuality a deviance from the normal. In the process, the individual deviating from heteronormativity are given lower status in society. They also face discrimination and exploitation. Of course, there is a variation in this context across countries and societies. Thus, we see that heteronormativity leads to social inequalities, and for that matter, there have been movements by LGBT community for their rights and privileges. LGBT stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. Other terms like LGBTQ and LGBT plus are also used. The Q in LGBTQ stands for queer or questioning, and it refers to those who are not certain about their sexual orientation. LGBT plus, on the other hand, is the term that covers LGBT and other related communities. Now, if we look at the status of homosexuality, we see that there are still many countries where homosexuality is not legalized and is considered a criminal act punishable by law. Even the countries that legalize homosexuality, same-sex marriage is legalized only in 28 countries. Now, we know that marriage is an important institution for social identification, and therefore, in countries where same-sex marriage is not legalized, homosexual individuals are deprived of these social identification that comes with the institution of marriage. While talking about the inequalities and discrimination faced by the LGBT plus community, we can take one important aspect, and that is health. So when it comes to health risk, the community also face additional health risk because of social stigma. As these individuals are often marginalized, they are often invisible in healthcare services and research. Now, let us also understand briefly the term transgender. We have already understood that one's sex need not necessarily align with one's gender, right? That is what is reflected in the case of transgender people. They have a gender identity that differs from the sex originally assigned to them at birth, or we can say that they vary from the traditional concept of gender in terms of male female binary. Besides, you also need to understand that transgender people are somewhat diverse. While some transgender individuals may be heterosexual, some others may be homosexual or bisexual. Talking in terms of stratification, the transgender, or we can say the entire LGBT plus community, are considered sexual minorities, and they are being marginalized. They may be deprived of many rights that are available to others. In the context of India, let us take an example. Like, we see that, many transgender people begging or in prostitution, because they are often deprived of employment opportunities because of their sexual identity. Also, in the context of India, the verdict of the Supreme Court in 2018, okay, that has decriminalized consensual gay sex. So this means what? This means that the homosexual individuals will not face legal sanctions for engaging in consensual gay sex or consensual homosexual activity. Okay. However, they may have to face informal sanctions like getting ostracized by the community. So merely, legalizing homosexuality need not necessarily remove the stigma associated with it. So the homosexual individuals may not have to face legal sanctions, but they may have to face other informal sanctions Okay, so same like what has been reflected at the legal level, okay, at the legal level of a country may not be reflected at the societal level or at the community level. So in other words, we can say that these people who are homosexual or those who belong to the LGBT plus community are often stigmatized and therefore given a lower status in society, and thereby also making their social mobility difficult. Thus, we can see that sexuality can also be a basis for social stratification. Well, that's all in this lecture. Thank you.